Wonder Woman number 4, written by Brian Azzarello, art by Cliff Chiang. We left off last issue with Wonder Woman renouncing her name of Diana and officially leaving Paradise Island for forever, it seems. This issue picks up in Darfur. There's a whole bunch of shooting and wars and violence and whatnot. And we see Apollo walking in to a bar where there's an old man sitting in bloodstained jeans. And it is, I guess, maybe Ares, but he just keeps calling him War. So I don't know if that's the same thing yet, regardless. Apollo is concerned about War for whatever reason, and they have a chat, have a drink, and they're just talking for a while. But first we cut over to Wonder Woman, who's in London. She's got her full punk rock gear on, and she's at like a heavy rock show. And clearly is a little bit upset. Hermes and Zola sitting off to the side, worried about her. And basically Hermes is like, why is she out here celebrating when she's learned such a terrible thing about herself? And Zola's like, she's not celebrating. She's like, music, she's sharing in the feelings of it. It's a community thing. And Strife comes up and he's like, well, if she's having a good time, so am I. So she takes some champagne glasses, walks over to Wonder Woman. Is like, come have a drink with me, baby sister. And she's like, don't start with me, Strife. She's like, me? Never. I would never. Okay, yeah, maybe I would. But, hey, I'm trying to be nice. And Wonder Woman's like, yeah, I'm trying to be nice. And she's like, hey, we're family now. So I can either be against you or I can be against you, if you know what I mean. I'm not entirely sure what she means. So then there's, back on Paradise Island, huge thunderstorm, and we see that Hera has landed amongst the island, and she's clearly calling out to Hippolyta to, like, get her ass down there. All the Amazons are ready to go down and fight Hera. She's like, no. Hippolyta just stops them all, and she's like, her beef's with me. I gotta go fight her on my own. Queen to queen. Cut back to Wonder Woman's scene. Wonder Woman apparently crushed the champagne glass and shattered it, and Strife's upset that they're not total buddies, I guess. Hermes is like, don't mess with Wonder Woman so much. Like, you literally just split a daughter and mother up. Clearly she's going to be upset. And she's like, I just told the truth. I just exposed the truth. Whatever happened, happened. And besides, don't get your feathers rustled because Hera's going to be looking for her own pound of flesh. Maybe we can give her what she's looking for as she touches Zola's stomach. And immediately Wonder Woman just rushes over, grabs Strife's hand, puts it on the table, and slams the shattered wine glass through it. And she's like, that's what family means to you? You just showed me your true colors, Strife. Like, get out. And Strife picks up her hand, licks off the blood, and it's just like, oh, don't worry, I promise that won't happen again, even when you're begging me for it. And so Strife leaves and Wonder Woman's pissed. Cut back to Hera versus Hippolyta, and Hippolyta is just full-on apology mode. She's like, I'm sorry, it was never my intention to upset you. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, okay, you slept with my husband. She's like, I did it all for my daughter. And she's like, no, that's my husband's daughter. And throughout all of this, the Amazons are slowly like surrounding the pair of them without any of them noticing. And Hera's just like, why would you, Hippolyta, you were so good. Why would you do this to me? Why would you? What did he say to you? What do I have to say to him? And then Hera realizes that they're surrounded, and Hippolyta's like, I told them not to intervene. This is purely on me, and I'm not worthy of their defense anyway. I have lost my daughter, and I've lost your faith. I am so sorry, Hera. And Hera's got this giant battle axe, and she's ready to bring it down on Hippolyta. And Hippolyta's just asking for forgiveness, but then Hera drops the axe and leans down next to Hippolyta and says, oh, my dear Hippolyta, I wish I could forgive you. We cut away back to Wonder Woman. She's talking to Zola, and they're just like, oh, man, I had a great night tonight. It's so good to be out of the craziness. And they talk about, how Zola, she never really had a home. Her father's in prison, and her mother wasn't much of a mother. The house that she was in was just a house. It wasn't ever a home. and she's just, she feels better off without it. Whatever she ends up being, wherever she ends up going, it's going to be better than that, right? And Wonder Woman, she hears all this and she takes it to heart, and she eventually realizes what she has to do. Puts back on her Wonder Woman gear and trades off her shield and sword for Hermes' staff so that she can, I guess, teleport back onto Paradise Island. I didn't know that was a thing of it, but sure. And as she arrives, she sees just a bunch of Amazonian gear just scattered all about. And as she approaches the big central area where Hippolyta was fighting Hera, she sees that it's overrun with snakes. Like, they're all the Amazons were turned into snakes. And she sees in the center Hippolyta, and she's just like, oh no, I'm too late. I'm so sorry for what I did. I reacted brashly, and I'm sorry I hurt you, and I wish that I could say that, yes, I am your daughter by blood, but now it's too late. Please forgive me. As we see that Hippolyta has been turned to stone. And I thought that's where the issue ended, but he actually goes on for one extra page of back to Apollo and War talking in the bar. And Apollo lets War know, hey, Zeus is apparently just gone. Like, does not exist anymore. He's dead. And War's like, well, the only person who could do that is someone of his own blood. And despite the fact I'm blood covered, no, it wasn't me. And he's like, no, I didn't think it was you. But, like, a lot of people are going to think it was you. So maybe me and you could, like, buddy team up. And he's like, I don't think you're doing this for my sake, War. Look, do you want to be, like, king of the gods? Is that what this game is? And he's like, well, maybe. Do you got a problem with that? And War's like, no, I'm tired, and I don't want to get involved in that. So you do whatever you're going to do. But just remember that the mortal hands are what determine the power of the gods, and War will always be around in the mortal world. It's inevitable, as we see just dead bodies littering the town as he walks away. And that's it. That's where the issue leaves off. It's good. I mean, it's a fine issue. It's not... It's got good moments. I guess I don't much care for the entire Wonder Woman side of things. The Hera and Hippolyta plot is far more interesting in terms of, like, what was Hera going to do and then ending up on what she did. And then I'm, of course, very interested by the opener-closer with War and Apollo of, like, Apollo's a major driving force of trying to become king of the gods. So that's something interesting. I'm interested in pretty much everything except the Wonder Woman part, which is a bit disappointing, Like, hopefully it'll pick up now that the part where it's just them sitting around talking and Strife is now out of the picture. Like, Wonder Woman can actually start making some moves, whatever they may be, in order to avenge her mother's untimely passing. So overall, I'm going to give this one a 7. A lot of that comes down to the scenes that I mentioned. The art style throughout, very good. I love the style that Cliff Chiang's got. It's very, very stylized, but at the same point, it's still feels like, your normal comic book, not like too crazy out there. So no, 7 for Wonder Woman, number 4. Looking forward to where it goes next.